there's a tremendous amount of research about the new generation of faculty. And without getting into a long higher ed history, we are in a really interesting moment in higher education because the academic workforce for all of the universities in the entire developed world have been in place primarily since the 60s and 70s. And our faculty workforce has been incredibly stable for nearly 50 years, with some modest hiring here and there based on community or enrollment growth and expansion of that type. But now what's happening is the baby boomer generation, my generation that has dominated since the late 60s and early 70s, is exiting. We're all aiming to retire, and many already have. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln offered, I believe, 30% of its tenured faculty buyouts last October. And other institutions are seeking and announcing and advertising their hiring for next fall, anywhere between 150 and 300 new faculty. Oh, wow. So there are jobs out there, and there's tremendous choice. And we are entering, over the next decade, a complete renewal of the academic workforce. So young people are going to have choices and options. My colleague Kathy Trower, Trower at Harvard, has been doing research on young faculty and has learned a lot about their interests and their working style, and they are, of course, not surprisingly, as all generations are, completely different from us. We wanted to work alone. Our culture was largely individual decision about work, individual decision about teaching, about what I would study, about where I would get resources for my research, how I would decide to disseminate it, and what type of research I would do. And we got assessed individually, and we published. We were favored for publishing individually. And the new generation of faculty are very collaborative. They're very interdisciplinary. They see the nuances of issues, and they're very motivated to do work that actually has application or resonance to at least offering a basis for intervention, solutions, and progress in issues and questions. So they're much more interested in working with each other. They have come through an education that often doctoral students today, I wish we could do hand raising, because I'm betting many of the doctoral students on the phone would have had service learning in college, if not in high school. And so the idea of engagement is less mysterious and foreign to these new generation faculty. So there are institutions that understand this and are starting to say in their advertisements and their interviews that they are an engaged institution and they value it. It's certainly a question that any applicant should ask during an interview process. I've encountered a lot of young doctoral students who are a little hesitant to think about an academic career and position because they feel like the current culture is so antithetical to their interest. And I want to say to all of you, listen very carefully. You will be in charge in a very short time. So get into the academic culture, take the job, push for change, and soon you will be the chair and you can make it happen.